From industrial smog to the smoke of coal-fired kilns, pollution is choking many of the world's countries. It's not just a major cause of climate change, it's also a significant cause of death globally. According to the World Health Organization, 7 million deaths per year are caused by air pollution. Due to the pandemic, 2020 saw air quality improve throughout the world due to economic restrictions. Still, air pollution remains a major problem worldwide. To rank the countries for the worst pollution, we're using data for PM 2.5 pollutants. That refers to tiny particles smaller than 2.5 micrometers or less. The WHO advises that PM 2.5 concentration should not exceed 10 micrograms per cubic meter. Yet every country on this list exceeds these levels. Indeed, the world's most polluted capital regularly sees levels above 100. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button to help us out. Now, here are 10 of the most polluted countries in the world. Number 10. Bosnia and Herzegovina. Kicking off our list is the Southeast European nation located in the Balkans. Unlike most countries which saw a dip in their air pollution in 2020, in Bosnia levels rose from 34.6 micrograms per cubic meter in 2019 to over 40. The main source of air pollution are the nation's coal power stations and heavy industry. Tuzla, the largest coal power station, churns out 51,000 tons of toxic sulfur dioxide and other pollutants every year. For the primary school found just down the road in the town of Divkovići, it's a health disaster. Indeed, in developing Bosnia and Herzegovina, 21.5% of the GDP is wasted due to lost work, school days, healthcare, and fuel costs. Even worse, 44,000 years of life are lost each year due to particulate matter, or nitrogen dioxide pollution. Together, the factors rank the air quality as unhealthy, with safe particulate matter limits exceeded for 60 to 90 days per year, sometimes as many as 200. Number 9. Indonesia. Between 2019 to 2020, Indonesian air quality improved significantly, dropping from 6th to 9th in the ranking. Here, one of the primary causes of pollution is the worsening forest fires. In October 2015, for example, almost 5,000 fires were burning simultaneously across the archipelago. The health costs for Indonesians are skyrocketing. More than 75,000 cases of upper airway infections were reported in 2015. Meanwhile, in a 2010 study, almost 60% of Jakarta, the nation's capital, suffered from breathing problems. It should come as no surprise. PM 2.5 concentrations are often 8 times the WHO annual air quality guidelines. Nor are there any signs of change. A new development of coal-fired power plants is expected to increase the number of premature deaths from 6,500 to 28,300 people per year. For the developing nation, it's a scandalous situation. One potential ray of hope came in September 2021, when clean air advocates won a lawsuit against the authorities for failing to measure and control air pollution in Jakarta. Hopefully, it spells a turning point for the nation's islands. Number 8. Kyrgyzstan. Air pollution has been worsening in the landlocked Central Asian nation in recent years. Between 2019 to 2020, PM 2.5 levels rose from 33.2 micrograms per cubic meter to 43.5, a leap of almost a third. In the capital Bishkek, air pollution is one of the worst in the world. Locals saw 32 days of hazardous air pollution between November 2020 and February 2021. But a lack of published information has left officials struggling to identify the problem's source. One potential cause is the region's mountainous terrain. Poor airflow results in the nation acting as a sink for dangerous emissions. Now the country is working on a solution. The Clean Air Bill, passed in 2020, will give preferential treatment to electric car manufacturing and help curb other pollutants. With citizens increasingly aware of the severity of the pollution, pressure is on the authorities to reach a viable resolution. Number 7. Qatar. This small peninsula in the Persian Gulf is a major source of pollution. The nation's energy sector causes approximately 96% of all air pollution, but is also the cause of the nation's immense wealth. That led to a trade-off between development and air quality, resulting in a 2020 PM 2.5 level of 44.3 micrograms per cubic meter of air. In Qatar, roughly 31 out of every 100,000 people will die due to air pollution, lower than neighboring polluted countries. It also causes 759 years to be lost to disability per 100,000 residents. However, it remains to be seen if Qatar desires to reduce air pollution. With the entire economy still devoted to fossil fuel extraction, reducing pollution may impact economic growth. Indeed, any action seems unlikely, as Qatar's Environment Ministry dismissed concerns raised by the WHO. They argued air pollution levels in the Middle East did not affect residents' health. Nevertheless, Qatar is looking to diversify into renewable energy, including solar. That might have the added bonus of improving air quality as well. Number 6. Oman. With an average yearly PM 2.5 concentration of 41 micrograms per cubic meters, Oman is 6th on our list. Like Qatar, Oman is heavily dependent on oil and gas exports for economic growth. But crude oil production and refining have both contributed significantly to worsening air conditions. For the small nation located at the tip of the Arabian Peninsula, this can mean PM 2.5 concentrations are 9 times greater than WHO guidelines. In particular, citizens living in urban hubs like Muscat and Sohar City are exposed to year-round high levels of air pollution. A 2015 study found locals living amongst high and intermediate exposure zones were far more likely to suffer from acute respiratory distress, asthma, and even inflammation of the eye. Meanwhile, long-term effects will cause chronic diseases, like heart disease and cancer. It's a truly disastrous situation. Oman is trying to diversify its economy to reduce air pollution, but with the nation's fragile success reliant on fossil fuels, the oil is likely to keep pumping. We're halfway through the video. If you're still with us, comment the garbage bin emoji below. Number 5. Afghanistan. Despite decades of war and destruction, pollution may be the nation's silent killer. While roughly 3,500 civilians were killed in the Afghan war in 2017, more than 26,000 deaths could be linked to air pollution. Indeed, air pollution regularly breaches PM 2.5 concentrations of 9 times the WHO guidelines. While much of the country is rural, where the air quality is significantly better, the capital, Kabul, is one of the most polluted cities in the world. Home to 6 million people, a noxious mix of smog and smoke plagues the city. With scarce resources, Afghans burn what they can to stay warm in the winter. Coal, wood, household trash, and even car tires are burned, turning the city air into a toxic soup. Industrial pollution and vehicle emissions further compound the problem. Back in 2017, Kabul's environmental department did launch a program to tackle pollution from old vehicles, and city officials called upon people to stop burning garbage for heat. But as the situation deteriorates after the Taliban recaptured the country, the air quality is unlikely to improve anytime soon. Number 4. Mongolia. Picture Mongolia, and you probably imagine the vast, open grassy steppe stretching as far as the eye can see. With only 3.3 million people, Mongolia is the most sparsely populated nation on Earth. So how come it's also one of the most polluted? Well, roughly half the country's population is squeezed tightly into its capital, Ulaanbaatar. The winters here are harsh, lasting up to 8 months of the year. Temperatures drop as low as -44 degrees Fahrenheit or -42 Celsius. To stay warm, the former nomads rely heavily on coal. Smokestacks tower high over the smog-ridden streets as drivers haul it home in their pickup trucks. The result is eye-watering. The air in Ulaanbaatar is often so thick that buildings and people are visible only in outline. The acrid fumes linger on the city, where sewer systems, running water, and trash collection are rare. Every year, the crisis costs Mongolia over $2 million and causes stillbirths, asthma, pneumonia, bronchitis, and even death in the nation's children. Efforts are being made to improve the situation, but with frigid winters, Mongolians remain reliant on coal to stay warm. Number 3. India. Despite ranking 3rd in the list, India has seen substantial improvement in air quality in recent years. From a high of 72.5 micrograms per cubic meter in 2018, levels fell in both 2019 and 2020. Nevertheless, it remains one of the most polluted countries in the year. Indeed, India is home to 22 of the world's 30 most polluted cities, and at least 140 million Indians breathe air 10 times or more over the WHO guideline. Industry causes over half of the pollution, followed by over a quarter from vehicle emissions. However, rurally, much of the pollution stems from fuel for cooking and heating, as well as crop burning. Air pollution in India causes 2 million premature deaths every year. Meanwhile, flights are routinely diverted due to poor visibility. Now, Indians are pressuring the government to take action. One sign of hope came during the pandemic, when lockdowns caused cities' air to clear. Some were even able to see the Himalayas. Hopefully, it will produce a lasting change as life returns to normal. Number 2. Pakistan. Air pollution isn't just a problem in Pakistan, it's a fact of life. Average yearly levels equal 68 micrograms per cubic meter, corresponding to 155 on the Air Quality Index. Yet the index often reads 300 or more, levels hazardous for human health. Such was the case in Lahore in November 2021, when the levels reached 422. To combat the toxic level of smog, the country's second-largest city declared a 3-day week, closing schools and offices. Residents reported shortness of breath, nausea, and stinging eyes from the thick, acrid fumes. Across Pakistan, citizens lose 2 years of life on average to air pollution. In Lahore, 5.3 years are lost. Causes range from vehicle emissions, solid waste burning, and industrial pollution. There's no easy fix. It's hoped improving fuel quality and shifting to renewable energy could alleviate the problem, but it will take time locals do not have. You're nearly at the end of our video. We're on a mission to explore all of Earth's amazing destinations. Make sure you're subscribed, that way you'll always be notified of our latest videos. Number 1. Bangladesh. For the third year in a row, Bangladesh remains the most polluted country globally. PM 2.5 concentrations can reach a staggering 15 times the WHO guidelines. The capital, Dhaka, ranked the second most polluted city on Earth. Yet the low-lying country isn't wholly responsible for the situation. Transboundary air pollution from neighboring India and Nepal floods the area. Coal mine particles in particular cross from India, contributing as much as 40% of the total air pollution. Bangladesh does hold some blame. Dust and smoke from the brick-making industry's coal-fired kilns cloud Dhaka in toxic fumes. Despite representing just 1% of the country's GDP, it generates nearly 60% of particulate pollution. With levels so high, an estimated 13 to 22% of deaths are attributed to air pollution. Rates of asthma and breathing problems are steadily rising. Now the authorities are taking action. Brick kilns are becoming subject to stringent legislation. Officials regularly visit waste treatment plants to ensure pollution is being curbed. Time will tell if the locals can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Hey, thanks for watching. Want to suggest a video or have something to say? Let us know in the comments section below. Check out our country's playlist for more videos like this one.